I love that intro so much. It's making me do a Muppet dance. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Julian the Hooligan, and I have the pleasure to introduce somebody that has probably made one cover that has gotten a lot of people hot under the covers. A lot of people messaging me about these editions. So without further ado, everyone, let's give a big round of applause to Ryan Kincaid.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Just kicking back here at HQ, running our little virtual con, and we've got some wonderful guests, and you just happen to be one of them. And welcome to the show.
Nice. Thanks for having me.
So, you've been with us for a while. You've done some amazing covers.
Yes.
Tell us about what got you into wanting to draw this image for the Lady Death swimsuit edition.
Man, that I go through so many different layouts to do Lady Death. It's probably the only book that I'll go like 5 or 6 layouts, 6, 7 layouts, whatever, and then my wife and I will look at it and be like, all right, let's do these 4. And then we'll send them to Polito, and he gives you the thumbs up on, or the A-OK on which one to go. And I remember that set. I really wanted that image or one other one to go, and he gave me the okay with that. It's one of the only times, man, I tried to push. Let's see if I can keep up with all the other sexiness that's going on, because usually I try and do something that looks good, but it's still like badass, because it's always DeBalfo and Jose Varice and all these guys that it's just they sweat sexiness when they put their hand to the pencil. I usually try and like, all right, I already know I'm gonna get stomped by these guys, but let me try it this time and see if I can actually just push something that is just there.
Well, I think you're selling yourself short, man. That's an amazing piece. I've had so many people when we first showed it for the Kickstarter's mystery envelopes. So many messages from collectors like, I gotta have it. Do you have any in the vault? And it's like, I don't know until I get to them, because there's so much things in that vault that it's like, well, it'll take me time to get there, but I'll let you know if I run across them. So this image has really, really got a lot of people just salivating, including me. When I got to make these medals the other day, I was like, wow, this is stunning.
That's awesome. Yeah, when I saw the picture that it was coming to metal, I was like, ooh, that looks better than even the first time. It's great.
Yeah, and I really like how the metal you have the candles in the background behind the pool. It's just it's really beautifully done. So props. It turned out amazing. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
How did you meet Brian and get involved with Coffin Comics?
Oh man, that's a long decades story. I'm reading the comments and laughing. No, there's no berating today. Shannon's in California. No one gets yelled at by the wife unless she just happens to pop on. You never know. She's actually texting me right now. She's at my old job in California. I have known about Lady Death since I was like 12 or 13. I was young. My neighbor was in the National Guard, and he loved comic books, especially Deadpool and Lady Death. So I actually got to paint, like, as a teenager, like Lady Death on the National Guard armory. At that point, I was like, I want to do this. Eventually, I want to draw like Lady Death for real. I had met Brian multiple times at different shows, especially when I was just the new kid on the block. He always showed an interest. Oh, you're doing good. And I don't know, it's probably his presence, as everybody knows how Brian is. Like, you don't want to disappoint that man. So I waited for him to come to me, basically. Like, all right, man, I think it's your time. You can do this. I think I drew 3 or 4 pieces before we even did the first cover. So long process, but it's great. I mean, Brian's one of my favorite people to work with, and most terrifying.
Who are your influence in art?
I don't like anybody. They all suck. No, I'm just kidding. I do everybody in different. It's so quiet on the other end. I'm like, no one's laughing. Did I screw that one up? Uh, J. Scott Campbell's been a huge influence of mine for different reasons. Besides his art, like his business sense. Same with Brian. Like I look up to Brian in ways of a publisher since I just started doing that with Persuasion and another series I have coming out. They're just smart people business wise. Campbell with his art, I loved the cheesecake, the everyone, whatever you want to call it, but his art always reminds me of a cross between comics and like Disney princesses. Um, so I love that. Jim Lee, Joe Madureira, I love that dude's work. Ebass, the Balfo, of course, he's a good friend, but at the same time, I hate his guts because he draws better. I could go on. Every different periods of my life, I had different influences, so it just depends on what it is. Michael Turner, someone just commented on that. I love Michael Turner. I just kind of picked pieces here and there, like, oh, I like how this guy does that. I love how he does this. I love how he does that, and just kind of focused on my own thing at the same time, but watching what these people did throughout their career. As I draw a cover now. So if I look down, I'm drawing. I got a tight deadline.
So yeah, I was just going to say, I noticed you're working on, what is it you're working on right now? And are we allowed to see it?
Yeah, I'll flip the camera here in a little bit. I figured people can actually see me for a few minutes and then they'll get tired of seeing my face. And then we'll put it back on the art because that's probably what, that's what they're here for anyways. It's a cover for Aftershock. I don't know if I could say the title, but since it's in the beginning stages, I'll we could watch the work go down a little bit.
With the artists, I noticed you're mentioning Aftershock and Coffin. Do you prefer the smaller indie publishing market as opposed to the big two?
I do for different reasons. So I'll try and simplify my answer as much as possible. To work for the big two as a business person, it's great because it gets more eyes on your work. It increases your fan base. It increases everything for you on that end. And then you also have bragging rights. Like, yeah, I got to work. I did, Joker cover. I'm doing a secret cover right now that I can't tell you guys. And some other DC stuff. That's awesome. So the artist inside of you is like, yeah, I did good enough that I could make it to this level. But the other side of me is like, dude, indies are fun. Like, there's less rules. The characters are just, fresh and out there. It's more of camaraderie because most everybody in the indie scene kind of knows each other, or at some point or another will know each other, and or work together. A lot of the guys that on the indie scene, like, we all flip covers with each other. Like, you do a cover for me, and then I'll do a cover for you, and let's do a cover with this. So on my end, I just think it's a little more, you get a little more freedom.
Do you, what kind of advice do you have someone who's just wanting and just starting to get into the industry? What type of words would you tell them?
Go to school, become a doctor, a lawyer, baseball player, something. Just don't do what I do. I don't want to have anybody else I got to try and compete against. Dude, if you you're gonna learn I am not serious, like, ever. Jimmy already knows. Jimmy's had to deal with me enough. Man, if you want it enough, you go take it. I got told all my life, except for by my parents and my family, that you cannot make a living out of being a comic book artist or an artist in general unless you are one of a kind. You just can't do it. And that was a fire that got me of like, screw you, I can do whatever the hell I want to do. There's a million great artists out there. So if you want it, you got to go take it. Like, you got to put in the work, put in the hours, grind. There is zero 0%. I'm going to say negative 1,000% entitlement in comics. You have to bleed this shit before someone's going to be like, here you go. But if you want it bad enough, draw all the time and just keep doing what other people do. Don't get discouraged because one person said you're not good enough. Use that fuel. Like, okay, I'm gonna be good enough. I got told by multiple people, including some great artists that I still admire. Oh, you got a lot to learn. A lot to learn. Comics are going to be hard for you. I had a portfolio review by a comic book artist that is infamous, and he thought I was going to cry until he and I went and had a shot afterwards. Use everything to put down into your art, man. You just can't give up. Everyone's gonna have those moments where like you think in your head like, crap, what am I doing? But you get past that, push past that.
What is your oh whoa, hey, I just got out. There's 5 editions left of your metal cover.
If you guys do not go get them, I'm gonna go get them. Just so you know,
Well,
if they're not done by the end of this interview, I'm gonna go get them.
I don't think you have to worry about that. I think they'll be gone probably within the next 10 minutes.
Well,
it's been a highly requested image.
I'll go buy them all just so I can get one.
So what are your thoughts on our characters here at Coffin, like Lady Death, La Muerta, Hell Witch? What are your thoughts on characters we're making?
Each one is so much fun. La Muerta is probably one of the ones where when Brian hits me up for it, I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Actually, I take it back, dude. Everyone that Brian hits me up, I say, oh shit. But the design of La Muerta with the different face painting, each one has the specific way that she has her makeup, but each artist tweaks it in a way that you kind of have to see what the base of the makeup was and then do your own thing. And it's hard to not just try and stick to the original. And then you see Dawn does, and Paolo and all these guys, like they have these little twists and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Hell Witch is great. I just did my first one not too long ago. That's an awesome character. Like that's a powerful, sexy, like I'll rip your heart out and then eat it, but I'm gonna look good while I do it. All 3 of those characters are great.
What's it like? I see we work from home. You're married. You have family. What's it like trying to juggle your job along with family responsibilities? Is it tough to do it since seems like you're working from home most of the time?
No, I lock the door. Like I'm the dad that doesn't do shit around the house. If you've seen my live show, that's a lie. I'm waiting for the comments to be like, yeah, you're a liar. I don't sleep. Everyone, I don't seem to have a spare. Oh, so Albert, if I get them, what we're gonna end up doing. Speaking of, here's one of them coming now. You never know what's coming in my house. Since you're down here, you want to say hi? You have to come on this side.
Hello.
There it is.
Wait, who's that?
I'm Hooligan. How are you?
Good.
I said, how are you? It's in the Coffin Comics, so it's the Lady Death stuff.
So you have live segments with the kids too?
Yes. Oh yeah. We go live a couple nights a week on my art page. And then there's always somebody here. My wife, one of the workers, one of my nieces, the kids. Somebody's always running around. There's no stopping what happens in my house, and I don't even try. I tell everyone it's Kincaid chaos. Like what happens on the live feed, it's fair game. Chewy, see, my dog usually snores in the background as Albert's telling us. He's laying next to me.
Fixing all of your markers.
Do you need something?
No.
Okay, go sit, please. They don't all fit in there.
No, I'll make them.
No, come on, you're gonna break it. Let's go. See, that's what I'm saying.
Snap.
That sounds like an amazing live show.
Yeah, oh, I do it all the time. You know, you'll hear like someone in the background. We'll be drawing. We'll do something, and you can hear my wife in the background. Who screwed up dinner? I'm like, oh shit. And then she'll come down and is like, "Hi guys, get your butt up and go." You know, I'm just kidding. She's not that mean, but you know, we don't really hide much. Working from home is great though. I mean, it always has its ups and downs, especially with when COVID hit and you know there's virtual learning and this and that, because then you're making sure they're on top of their schoolwork and everything else. But I don't sleep much, so it's okay.
Well, what's it like working with Brian?
Working with Brian is awesome, and it's terrifying because the guy is so busy and knows exactly everything he wants. He's the only editor that when I send him the roughs or the pencils that I sweat until he messages me back. And I've come to learn over the years that if he gives you an A-OK or great, that's about as good as we can get with him. And that's awesome. I don't know if you guys watch the British Baking Show. We have that on constantly at our house, and it always cracks me up because they do it for no money. And the highest like achievement they can get is the dude like, you did a great job, and he shakes his hand. Like that's the praise of all praise. So for me working with Brian, when I get a great, like that's the praise of all praise. I'm like, holy crap, okay, I did a good job. But he's great, man. He'll tell you, you know, straight up, like edit this, change this, do a little this, add a little this, take a little way of that, and then go. And he doesn't beat around the bush. He does it throughout the whole process. So it's not like some where you get done with the whole thing and they're like, maybe can you actually just kind of tweak this? And it's, you know, it's already colored. You're like, I can try.
Do you think it's maybe because since he came from his background in film school, do you think that's what makes him the way he is, how he's got everything planned out in his head and he knows exactly what he wants, but he still allows you that freedom?
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible with his background in film. I think it's just he's been in this game so long, like he knows what he's looking for. Number one, he knows what his characters are supposed to look like, you know, damn near every angle and any kind of clothing. He knows what their characteristics would be in any situation. So he knows what he's doing with his own stuff. So he's going to make sure you're portraying what he wants you to portray on there. And there's, you know, that's great. There's no second guessing with Brian. It's just straight, you know, you do it as he wants it. And you don't, like a lot of editors, it's like, oh, just kind of do what you want. And again, you get it back and they're like, oh no, let's go a whole different way. Where Brian's like, you know, from the get-go, this is what I want you to do. This is the idea. Give me 4 thumbnails and then go. And then give me roughs and then go. And then give me pencils and then go.
Is that easy to work with, or you always say you like are nervous until you hear back from them?
No, it's easy to work with. I mean, I kid about being nervous. It's just because it's Brian. Like I love Brian. He could tell me to kick rocks, and I'd still be like, okay, how far?
Now, on this image, which we're almost sold out of, folks. If you've been hemming and hawing, stop hemming and hawing because there's 5. Probably less by now. First thing that came to my head when I saw this image was that scene where Denise Richards is coming out of the swimming pool in that movie she did with Nev Campbell. It was like,
oh, you know what? Never even thought about that.
It's so beautiful and just, it's like, wow, if this was a scene in an animated film or a comic book, I just see it just slow motion, slowly coming out of the water,
right.
Give you that look, and then, you say the wrong thing, I'm just going to kill you.
Yeah,
because I really like the beauty you put in it, but it's also got this edge about it too.
What up, Billy?
What influenced you to get that just knock it out of the park, because this is really stunning, man. It
I
truly
mean,
is.
to me, no matter what you do with Lady Death, like it doesn't matter how sexual or seductive or whichever direction that you're trying to go with Lady Death, like she always has that I'm the fucking queen right here. Like no matter what I'm doing, I'm in charge. Like there is no playfully sexy, there's no submissive on her end. Like when I think of Lady Death that I've known, forever, I just think no matter what, like she's the boss. No matter what situation, no matter what she's gonna look in. So even in this pose, I had her up, like you said, coming out of the water. She's still gonna have that look of like I'm Lady Death. Like who I am. I'd say some perverted things right now or some kid friendly things right now, but I probably shouldn't.
All right. Would you like to take any questions for our viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all
right. Let's see who we got. Who do we got with some wonderful questions there, Jimmy?
Comment here. Oh, is this live?
Is this live? Yes. Yes. Economics and comics. We are live.
In economics and comics. Love that guy.
Those guys are great. They're always fun to have around.
As long as he doesn't get yelled at by my wife, it's all good.
You got that on film? I'd love to see that.
Yeah, if you go on his live stuff, you'll see it.
Okay, so the comic is like the wild.
Yeah, Wild Things. Yes, there you go. Scene from the Wild Things. Yeah.
I was trying to think of the name of the cover.
Yeah, but that image is always etched in your brain when you think of that. When someone mentions the title, that's just that pool image, and it's like, wow. That's breathtaking. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, wow. He caught that image with our character. It's just like stunning. Very stunning. Like I say, I still get lots of people bringing it up. They're wanting editions of it. And when I find them, I'll put them out there. Your covers are awesome. Oh, are you going to be at Swornfest?
That's what, 2022, right? That's next year?
Yep. February.
I don't know. I would absolutely 100% go if Brian told me to go. Like, again, Brian could tell me to jump, and I'm going to ask him off of what. I love, I have friends in Arizona. I go all the time. I stay at DeBaffo's house, or I go to Murat's house, or,
Murat.
Yeah, I love all those guys. So any chance that they're like, hey, come to Arizona, I'm like, all right, I'm out. Let's go. And I've been told for the last couple years, like I should have been at Swornfest for the first one. But I also don't bother. Like I don't bug Brian. I just wait for the invitation.
Jessica, I totally agree with you. What a beauty, amazing artwork. Yes, truly. I say everyone, when I was told I was making the medals of that image, I was just like, I get to touch more of this image. Nice.
Yeah.
See a lot of Michael Turner in your art as well. Yep.
Yeah.
When you were starting off, was it hard to get your foot in there and just like, come on, man, look at my stuff, because it definitely sounds like you challenge yourself to be better when you were before. But when you were first starting out, what was the thing that you were just like, come
on? So I'm a very passive individual. I'm quiet outside of being live. The first show I actually went to was in Long Beach, or not first show, but I went to a Long Beach con back, I don't know, way back. I think the first year or the second year it was around. And I had this little dinky portfolio that I thought was like great. And it was full of cartoons because at the time I didn't really draw comics yet. I drew the characters, but they were all cartooned out. And my wife was the one that was like shoving it in everybody's faces while I was geeking out on everyone. So she happened to shove it in Campbell's face, and he talked to me for a few minutes, and then she shoved it into Dan Panosian's face. And he really was like, yeah, you should try this. You should do this. Like, you should do comics. Like, you can get in. Like, I can help you out with that next week. So literally was, he opened the door for me. And once the door was open, that's where I realized like how many people, are trying to do it and how I was going to have to do it. Like, I went in the same time as DeBalfo had just started, maybe like a year or two ahead of me. And of course, you had the whole Zenoscope crew we all did the same kind of thing. Dan Mendoza. I started around the same time. We were on the same like lineup. I kind of watched as either more people were adding their names to the list of stuff, or friends were dropping off because they just couldn't do it anymore. So I had to figure out what I did. So I just was make sure I may not be better than everybody, but I'm going to push harder, and I'm going to do this faster than everybody else. Like one of the comments, Terry says, "How many covers have you done this week?" 4. I've done 4. I'm working on my 4th right now, actually. So it was more of a plan of action on not everybody, come look at my work. It was more of a how much work can I get that will show itself. Like, I didn't turn down any projects. I didn't care what it was. They were like, "You want to draw this cover? Sure. You want to draw this? Sure. Is it pub? Yep. Let's do it. The comment cards, whatever. I didn't care." I figured the more stuff I got myself onto, the more my name would go out and people would start recognizing it. I guess it worked.
I think I was at that Long Beach show. The company I worked with merged with Golden Apple in California, and we did a Atomic Apple for like 1 weekend. We merged our companies for a big shindig there, and it was
okay.
An impressive show. It's pretty impressive show.
I can't remember what year it was, but I want to say it was like the 2nd year that they were there.
It's like 87 or 08. 07, 08. I think
it was not 87. Long Beach Con hadn't been around that much.
No, it was like 07,
I was
08.
Like, I was 6. Yeah, it was probably around then. Maybe yeah, because my son was 1, so that's about it. 2008.
Right. So that was the first time I saw J. Scott Campbell's calendars they was putting out. It was around that time.
Right, and website. He just was in the artist, like on the side of the artist alley next to Penosian, one table, just him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how early on that was. Like, it wasn't like a massive line. It was just Campbell sitting there.
You'd walk right up and do your business and head on out. Yeah, that was a great show. I love it when shows first start out. See, Ryan, do you have so much already at this point? What is one grail you'd still love to work on?
For the major companies, it's a toss-up between a Spider-Man storyline and an X-Men story that I get to draw, have Iceman and Colossus in it. Those are characters that I would love to draw. Indie-wise, I'd love to be able to do like Spawn. See, there's the wife. Everybody better watch out now. Yeah, I'd love to get a hold of Spawn. That would be an awesome one. That's another thing, I grew up with. Since, the Kickstarter's coming, or I might have misread that right. I don't know, but Battle Chasers, they're finishing it off.
I heard about it.
If that ever continued, I would love to do a cover for Battle Chasers. That was probably the first series I got that actually got them all.
Now, final question. We've got this Kickstarter coming up in the future with our big crossover with all our characters. Question to you, Hell Witch or Lady Death? Who wins?
Oh, man. That's like light putting gasoline on a fire, man. That's going into a comic book shop and saying Marvel or DC. Like, you're gonna try and get these fiends like hunting for me. I'm not answering that. You're crazy.
You are a smart man.
I know how these guys work. If I say one, you're just old school. You don't want to give the new guy a chance. If I say the other one, what's wrong with you? You know better.
Why are you gonna
Don't pull
back
that crap.
why can't you back the OG? No, I've seen those comments online. It's the memes that are coming out are hilarious.
Yeah, dude, I don't stick myself into something that could be brutal. I
All
don't
right,
mess
well,
with
that's
the
gonna-
fiends.
Yeah, you don't know. The OGs, they are like
Nuh-uh.
a whole nother level. It's like crazy. I mean, the classic fiends are probably the most amazing group of folks I've met. They're just
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. They're that and they're ruthless, man. They're looking for the new blood to screw up one way or another. I don't think I've been to a show in the last like 2 years that somebody hasn't dropped this on my table to try
Yeah,
and catch me.
great.
I'm
Now I
like,
gotta
no.
undo my student to do mine.
Yeah, mine stays in my wallet because every time I go somewhere, they're like, "What's up, bitch?" I'm like, "Nah, I got you."
Brandy had it happen to her at the DMV of all places.
See,
No one threw it down. Yeah,
my stuff
you
stays
gotta
on
be
me. That ain't
prepared.
happening.
Yeah,
I got it in
two.
New Hampshire after COVID. Like even during this, man, I went to New Hampshire for a 1-day show, and this dude, like one of the first people, dropped it on my table. Was like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Nope."
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you for a very stunning metal edition.
How many are left, Jimmy?
Let's see. I say we're down. We're sold out. I'm going to say we're sold out.
We're gonna see.
Let's see.
Go to the store.
Go to the store. Clicking on that button. Going over
I've
here.
got it in my cart. I'm waiting to buy it.
You better not wait long because people are going to snag that. Two left. You better make your purchase now. There's two
Yep.
left.
That's happening.
Thank you again. I appreciate it. And, please
No, it's
join
always a
us again.
pleasure,
I
guys.
can't wait to see what you're going to do.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Everyone, that was Ryan Kincaid joining us today. I'm Julian the Hooligan. I hope everyone had a great time, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Swarmfest, Swarmfest, Swarmfest. Swarmfest, the global gathering for Coffin Comics Fiend and the Swarm, featuring exclusive parties, artists, signings, commissions, panels, beer, food, coffee, alcohol, tours of HQV2, trading posts, CGC, friendship, community, camaraderie, shenanigans, insanity, and more.
Plan ahead. Be there.
Tickets and details on sale now at coffincomics.net/Swarmfest.
Presented by Coffin Comics. Swarmfest, Swarmfest, Swarmfest.
February 25th through 27th, 2022, Mesa, Arizona, USA.
Swarm.